So welcome to the first section of the Solopreneur Survival Guide, where I'm going to be talking about disaster recovery. Now, it's not a very cool, it's not a very sexy topic, but for me, it's one of the most critical things that you can implement in your solopreneur business, because you need to make sure that if the worst case happens, you can get back up and running. And because everything's on our shoulders, we need to get this up and running. So why should I care about disaster recovery? Well, you're a one-person business. That's why you should care. It's only you. The upside, you're 100% reliant on yourself. The downside, you're 100% reliant on yourself. So whether you sell ebooks, online courses, provide a service, do freelance work, if you lost all the data on your computer, could you and your business still function? So I'm going to ask you that question again. If you lost all the data on your computer, could you and your business still function? Now, for me, I build software products, build mobile apps, do digital courses, and I do things like ebooks, digital downloads. And like some of the digital downloads, if I want to expand and update, if my computer goes down and I have to start from scratch, I can't do that. I'm going to have to work out how to get all that back and start editing in. And if you've got invoices, templates, content creation templates, anything that you need to run your business, if that disappears, you could be in a bad place. So I'm going to come up with this saying that I think is key here. Is the military. I think it comes from the US Navy that I've heard people say this, but there's a saying that the military have is, if you have two, you have one. If you have one, you have none. So what does that mean? If you've got two of something and one breaks, that means you've only got one. If you've got one at something and that breaks, you don't have anything. So my example that I go with, where people don't do it for the business and things on the computer, but they do it for physical things like the car or the home. So we're a homeowner. I'm on a house. I have a key. My wife has a key. We then have spare keys locked away. And then we have family members who have keys as well if we need it. I also when I used to work in an office, I used to have my own drawers that I could lock. I had spare keys in there. Worst case scenario, I'd have to go into the office and get it. So that sort of mentality of having all these redundancies and different backups dotted around the place is something that you need to sort of think about and get into the mindset of doing for your own, solo business, your company of one. So what I'm going to run through over the next few videos of this playlist is going to be the disaster recovery into 4 parts and sort of different levels that we can sort of get into to help you have a redundancy plan in place. So number one, part one, will be real-time backups. So changes are synced to the cloud almost instantly. So whatever you do on your computer, it gets backed up to the cloud. Part two is implementing a strategy where you do periodic backups. So files and folders are saved to an external source or up to the cloud again. Cloning, now what that is, it takes on a periodic basis, you take a copy of your hard drive, a snapshot at one point, and that's copied to an external source. And then part four is sort of advanced recovery options, like you get into a bit more cost, but what we can do for that. So the next video is going to be about part one, which is going to be about real-time backups. So keeping your critical files backed up and in the cloud. So join me on the next video and we'll go into that a little bit deeper.